We were talking about, everyone's got that one bowl that they just love.
She's got one. If I use it, I'm gonna hear about it.
If he takes the purple one, he's in trouble.
This is actually new for me. She just got this not too long ago. I was like, I'm gonna use it.
Joink.
Yeah,
Well, cool. We'll get it
yeah.
started. Yeah, so this is the Crushing Limits Unleashed podcast. We have, of course, Coach Eric. We have Stephanie Santamaria and special guest Joe Palacios. Welcome to the show, man.
What's up, guys? I'm happy to be here. It's
Yes,
we've been
sir.
trying to plan this for how long now, and finally got it
Dude,
going.
yeah, it's been a while, man. I think I might have hit you up right. It was maybe right before Tampa.
Hmm.
Yeah, and the funniest thing is like, we listen, all of us listen to all the pods and everything, so we're always keeping up. We're watching all the shows live stream or going to the shows.
Hmm.
And leading up to Tampa, it's funny because like I know all the stats. Like I follow everything. I've been in this sport over 20 years, you
Yeah,
know, gone to the Olympia, over 20 times. So I know all the facts and I'm listening to these guys and I'm like, this isn't Joe's debut. Like
I
he's
know.
already,
That's why I kind of let him say. I'm like, well, shit, they don't know who I am. Fuck
yeah, I was
it.
like, you guys got it wrong. This isn't his debut. So we've obviously followed you for a while. We listen to Beatty's podcasts and all that. You know, we know
Yeah.
Compton, and I'm listening to this and I'm like, they really wrote you off. Like, how did you take it? Like, how did you take it? Because obviously, you know, anyone that's followed you had seen like tremendous growth from you, and you posted a few pics leading up. So I'm like, how are people writing this guy off?
It's one of those things. I think in this day and age, now you can just post pictures, right, and you look like the god of the gym kind of thing. So until that translates to stage, people don't really want to count you in, kind of thing. They did the same thing to Good Vito in a sense. He's
Mhm.
amazing,
Yeah,
but everyone's going to judge you based on your last placing. And I was still kind of like fresh in the size game and stuff like that. So people don't know, people that follow don't know the history, like stuff like that. I needed a little more time to let all that size really set in and to mature and stuff, which is why I took so long off from my actual debut at the Cal to Tampa. I remember stepping off that stage knowing what I had to do. And I remember going to Justin, telling him, this is what I see, this is what I feel I need to do. And he was completely on the same page. And that's how I ended up going to Tampa on the next stage. And then because Texas was right after Tampa, I just thought it was a good idea to try to show my face a little bit more. And that benefited me as well because not only were we able to do as well as we did in Tampa, but with that newer body and newer look, it was easy to get even better from one week to the next, just simply based on what we had to do to peak. So he got whatever notes he took for Tampa, we applied to Texas, and I came in even better at Texas. So with the new body that I have, all that muscle tissue, and even this year, I had the judges tell me, come backstage to me and tell me, you know what, Joe, like it was really close and you would have won no problem if you had a little more sweep. Even without the sweep, I was close. So he said, if you're, both judges told me, if you bring up that sweep and critique your posing just a tiny bit on certain poses, like, dude, you're going to be almost unbeatable. And we're really excited to see what you do next. So that was really motivating to hear, So
right.
yeah, that's where we're at right now.
Yeah, I mean, we watched both of them on the stream. Obviously, it's a different, from seeing it in
Yeah.
person. But, arguably, I thought, in Texas, man, like you were right there, you know.
I thought I had it. And I tell everybody that I'm like, not to take away from Jordan, I can give an argument as to why he won too. I can give an
Mhm.
argument as to why I feel like I should have won. However, I will go to, to the stage that I am supposed to be at when I'm supposed to be there. I'm actually kind of glad that I didn't win because it is a real huge goal of mine to try and make top six my first Olympia.
Hmm.
And I saw I could barely, if I say I did beat Jordan, I would have barely beat Jordan, and I would have ended up in the same spot most likely. So it's like, okay, Jordan kind of gave me a gauge as to where I would fall.
Sure.
So now I'm more motivated to try to improve the spots that I need to. And I do know I have a better back than Jordan. And I believe I do have better side shots. So if I do bring up that sweep, I know I can place higher than he did at my first one. So that's kind of where I'm at in my head and where I kind of want to be. So
Yeah. I think that's a really good perspective,
Hmm.
how you put that.
mhm. It's
But yeah,
exciting. Yeah,
yeah, absolutely. I mean, you don't want to just go like you're one of those guys that wants to, when you go, you want to actually do some damage.
mhm. So in 2022, it was my first time working with Justin. And we did the 2022 California State Championship. That was my second show, my first show ever being on gear. So I was 4 cycles in, and I ended up winning that whole show and became Mr. California. And he told me after that, hey Joe, what do you feel about doing USAs? He said, I have a really good feeling you're gonna win your pro card. I was like, that's fucking awesome to hear, but do you think I'd win the show? And he said, honestly, man, like you're gonna be a little under muscled unless like the super heavy doesn't come in like conditioned enough. It's a toss up, but I don't think you could win the show yet. And I was like, I'm somebody that's kind of old school. Like I want to win my pro card the way it used to have to be won.
Hmm.
Hmm.
And I would really want that title. And I was like, part of my off season going into that show that I just won was almost half-assed. I was going through a lot in my life, and I was like, you know what, you give me it would it was 14 months. I was like, you give me that time. I was like, Justin, I truly believe I'll be Mr. USA. And then 14 months later, I was Mr. USA.
Right.
So I've always only wanted to step on stages that I felt ready for. So again, like, and ironically, the only stage that I stepped on that I didn't pick was the Cal Pro. Justin told me I was ready, and I was going to wait until actually this year to do my first pro show. So it's kind of ironic how people thought that was my debut because that's what I wanted for me. But I decided to, I'm like, he has a good eye for this, and I don't regret it because it gave me that foundation to mature and rebound off of and bring the look that I brought for Texas and Tampa. So it was one of those like stepping stones where, yeah, it wasn't the best debut, but it set me up for what I am now. So there's no regrets there. But
Hmm.
I was going to take longer.
I mean that's a
Yeah.
good way to look at it, man, because most people are, they just kind of dive in, which is cool too, but it's like we were talking about, it's, you dive in for the experience, or are you diving in, for a paycheck or, a first call out?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just
I compete to win.
yeah,
I want to win. I don't just want to be someone that gets a trophy or,
yeah.
hey, Joe, you look great. I don't give a fuck. I didn't win.
It's kind of refreshing to
So,
see someone who's not just like, oh, I want to do one show, turn pro, and then do my pro debut like 2 weeks later.
yeah,
You're
it's,
the time it really takes.
yeah, I do this because I love it. I never really, ironically, I didn't care to compete. I just cared to be the best version of myself. And so if I'm gonna compete, and it's hard when you get in a condition, like you guys know, like
Mhm.
if you truly bring the right conditioning, it's hard. It takes a lot of you. And I had my son coming up,
Right.
so it was it takes a lot of me. And there's a reason I take time between shows, not only to develop my body and make sure I'm ready for the next show, but also because like you miss out on a lot of life too. Like you can't really enjoy or appreciate life or even training and being a bodybuilder when you're constantly competing all the time. So I needed that break mentally and physically between shows to be ready to do it. And so if I was gonna when I was ready to do those shows, I was going all in, giving it my all, so you guys would see the look that you would see. So I never half-ass it, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, taking those breaks, especially for family time, is always such a crucial thing. And congratulations on the birth of the baby. That's always super
Thank
exciting.
you. Thank you.
I thought about this when I was driving home earlier today. Your son was born what, around March?
Yeah, so I was at the 11 week out mark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about parental advice, and I thought about something that was really interesting earlier. My mother instilled something in such a unique way. How would you say this? It really kept me on a good track for day-to-day life. No party scene, no recreational drugs. I didn't even try weed until I was in my 30s. But she did it in such a unique way that I felt that could be beneficial for you, could be beneficial for a lot of other parents too with young kids. So she told me early on, be like 5 or 6 years old. She goes, "Hey, do you want to go to a party?" Hell yeah, I want to go to a party. She's like, "All right, cool. Come with me to my room." So I'd walk into the master bedroom and she'd close the door. She'd be like, "Clothes folding party." For like 10 years straight, I'd fall for it every single time. So just in the back of my head, when someone's like, "You want to go to a party?" Fuck no, I don't. Parties are bullshit. So till to this day, parties are bullshit. Thanks, Mom. Kept me out of
um,
trouble.
that's really good advice, actually. And the advice my mom was given was that if your child ever wants to do something like do some drugs or whatever, I say to kid like we kids are talking about smoking weed or drinking, like do it with them. Show them that it's not that big of a deal. And instead of having them do it where you don't know what's going to happen, it's not a controlled environment. Just have them do it at home with you. Like obviously, I don't want to do that, but I'd rather do it with my kid so that he can give that experience and see that it's not really anything. Like you're not missing out on anything.
Yeah, your
And
your your silly friends are hyping it up way more than it really
yeah,
is.
because the moment you tell someone they can't do something, they're gonna want to do it.
Sure.
And then
And that's
you see it happen all the time.
yeah, I've got two daughters. I've got an 8 week old baby, and then I've got an 11-year old. And so the 11-year old is getting to that stage where she's associating with older kids and asking they're asking good questions. She's not just doing things. She was like, "Hey, so and so said something about this." So I was like, "Okay, let's talk about it." And so next week I think we're going to start her first cycle of Anavar. So I think she's pretty excited about that. No weak bitches in this family.
Exactly.
Good plan.
Yeah, I know. But it's funny. Obviously, I never did that, but because she told me that, I didn't see the big deal in it, so I didn't even ask. So I wasn't a part of it. Later on in life, did I do it as an adult? Yeah, but it wasn't that big of a deal. And automatically, I was like, "This is stupid." Like, I don't see why people do it. And I did live my party years. They were very slim. They were like a very small amount of time. It was like 20 to 23. And I tell people that I needed to do that for me to be a good bodybuilder. Because I never played the like in my head, man, I missed out. I missed out on this. I missed out on that. Nah, because I gave myself that. It wasn't long, but it was enough to where I see it's really not for me.
Sure, you don't want to
So
play the what if game as you get older. Bodybuilding
exactly.
has a time limit for it. There is an expiration date on how long you can do this at a top tier level, and
Yeah.
people need to be
And
realistic about it.
I took a long time to decide to even jump on gear too, because I knew like what the life was going to ask of me and how much it takes up time and like how consistent you have to be for long periods of time. It literally has to be your life to an extent, you know. So I started my first cycle right before I was 27. So that first show I did, I was natural. I took second in the open class, and I was like, well, shit, you know, like I only lost because everybody else was on gear, and I didn't have Ronnie Coleman genetics. You know, I had good ones, but not Ronnie Coleman. And so I was like, if I want to succeed in this, I'm gonna need to jump on the gear side of things. And that's why I said in 2022 I won the whole show. But it took me a long time to make that decision. And when I did, um, I already trained for like 12 years. I was dieting and I learned about nutrition and all that and how it works. I coached myself for the first show pretty much. And then yeah, when after that show, my family was there. and they saw where I placed and stuff. They're hyping me up and all that. And I was like, you guys realize I only lost because I'm completely natural and this and that and all this. So I want you guys to know, like, this is the life that I want. I have fallen in love with the journey of this in all aspects. I've done the training, the nutrition, and now I've stepped on stage and I want to keep doing this. And I think I'm going to do really well. So I was like, after today, I'm pretty much going to go on cycle and I will win next time. And then I did. So I didn't hide anything from my family or nothing. And I had their full support. They saw how well I did and that I took it very seriously. So I took it seriously before I ever stepped on stage. I actually just posted a picture on Instagram today, the first time I ever got like shredded. And I just did that to see how lean I could get for a trip to Hawaii. So I already saw what I was capable of. I already had the mentality to be able to do it. I just wanted to make sure I was ready to take on it. And if I did want to. So here we are now.
Going back, what was that first cycle?
Very first cycle I took. So it was kind of during a rebound. So it was the natural show. Well, I competed naturally. It wasn't a natural show. So I competed naturally. And then that was on a Saturday. That following Tuesday, I jumped on my first cycle of 500 milligrams testipionate and 50 milligrams daily of D-bol for 5 weeks. The cycle itself was 16 weeks. The D-bol was only in there for 5 weeks. And then the coach that I had, it wasn't Justin. The coach that I had added EQ to that cycle after the D-bol came out. And it was he actually had me on kind of a high amount of EQ the first time. It was 600. But yeah, that was my cycle.
And because obviously you were going through that rebounding phase too, so the body wanted to just suck everything up. But then you also get beginner gains with the first bit of cycle.
Mm-hmm.
How much tissue did you gain? And I'm assuming you stayed pretty lean.
Wasn't that lean, but I put on 50 pounds. It wasn't tissue, but I put on 50 pounds. And I would say that I put on so from that show, I was 187 on stage in 2020. And in 2022, I was 218 pounds, but peeled, like more peeled than
In
the
the first
natty
cycle.
look. Hmm. So I ran 4 cycles in that time. But when I said I was going through a lot of my life at one point, I wasted one of those cycles. It was like I didn't follow shit. I was just in a bad place. That was so when I did that prep, it was the hardest prep I ever did. And I tell everyone about that. But that prep saved my life. It gave me that feeling of purpose again.
Was it hard because it was emotionally hard?
Both. So I was still working a laborious job. I just got in 2021, I separated from my ex-fiance of 12 years. And I had that was the first time I ever had to get that peeled in my life. So I never got to that low of a body fat. I've gotten low body fat, but not that low. And so all those things together just it took a lot out of me.
Mhm.
So when I told Justin I'd rather wait, because I knew all that stuff in the background held me back from what I potentially could have had that stage in 22, and how I wouldn't be my best in for USA's that year, which is why I knew I could win, because I did what I did with my physique with all that in the background. But then my life was better, so I was like, I can be all in here, and then I won USA's.
So
When
now
you
now
were
that you've started the gear at the entry level, and as the body has progressed, and as well you has progressed through the pro ranks, how do you see, not for other people, but just for yourself, cycles? As far as the structure of them, the intensity, because we see that, like I'm sure you see it all the time too. You'll see people like a local show and they're running, 5 grams of everything under the sink and they got thyroid medication, they got all this stuff. I'm like, if you need all that just to be competitive at a local show, this probably isn't for you. So as you've progressed, you've gotten bigger and, requires a little bit more. How are you seeing the structure change? Are you still keeping it, simple, or are there extra goodies that you probably wouldn't have thought when you got into bodybuilding?
So I didn't know anything about gear at all. I didn't know about dosages or nothing. But I've been given really good guidance since I started. Now that I do know things, so in hindsight, I can see that the people that I've worked with and talked to, they're good people. They're knowledgeable and they're very smart when it comes to bodybuilding. And from my very first cycle to now, it depends on what you're asking. Because off season, it's bare minimum with a lot of food, and with prep, it's a lot of food with bare. I mean, sorry, more drugs with bare minimum food. But the dosages of the drugs aren't as high as people think, or what they say online and stuff. And it's pretty ridiculous what I hear now that I know what dosages should look like. But the advice that I give everybody is that when it came to the test itself, just test base, that is the only thing that's increased over the last 5 years. And the GH amount, which I didn't even start off right away. I went without GH the first like 2 years being on cycle, no GH. And I only really used it for the shows for a few years. And the last 2 years I've been on like consistently for a good period of time. But even with that, like the GH goes up and down depending on what I'm doing. It's a little higher when it comes to when I'm on cycle or getting ready for a show. And it's a lot lower, like damn near nothing when I'm trying to just keep it in the system throughout the season, if you're gonna run it throughout the season. But yeah, um, even the test, like it was gradually just like a stair stepping like to where I'm at now. And I've said my doses before. I just said what I started off with. I'm at 1,200 now, and that's the most I run. And I'll typically run between 1 gram and 1,200, depending on if there's any compounds in the off season. But there's hardly ever compounds. It's usually like one, like an NPP or an EQ or whatever, and then GH. Um, People that have asked me about insulin, I've only used insulin twice, and at this point, we don't even feel like it's necessary. I have so much tissue, but I didn't even care to use it. I just feel like people use it when they don't have much of an appetite, and I've always had an appetite, so it. I don't need a lot, in my opinion. I don't think that's a lot from what I've seen and what I hear other people taking and stuff like that at this point.
Yeah, we
I
had
think
Justin on last week, and
Mhm.
he kind of alluded to where there was some people that were calling bullshit that you weren't using insulin and everything. So he was telling us about that. But no,
Mhm.
I think those are pretty standard for a guy with, obviously great genetics and your size. Like it's the crazy cycles like Eric was talking about where it's like you're open right there. Like you have no reason to lie about your cycles. So
Never have. I was like, when people ask me, I give you an answer, and
yeah.
I purposely give somewhat a little more detail than most to show you that I have no reason to lie. And then it's always funny when they see my pictures and they say I use synthol and shit. I'm like,
Yep.
okay. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, believe what you want to believe. But it's funny though, because I see Justin fighting my battles. Like I don't respond to him. And I see Justin, I'll just like Justin's little
Yeah.
like I'm this guy's coach. I know what he's doing.
Yep.
So
Yep. Yeah. I
yeah,
mean,
I love Justin.
yeah, we had a good one last week, man. I feel like we had to cut it short. We probably could have gone for like 5 hours.
Yeah. Yeah, Justin's one of those people that he can have a conversation with you. Like he's very insightful and stuff. So he has a lot to say,
Mhm.
and you put him on the right platform and put him in his like element, he's gonna speak. So try to talk to him about fishing. You can do a
Oh
whole
yeah,
podcast about
he
fishing.
he told us about the fishing too.
Hmm.
Yeah. Going back just a little bit on the prep, more for like the viewers, because like we're all coaches here. We've been coaching forever, so we hear all the stories. But for someone going through a lot of stuff in a prep, maybe you lose your job, maybe you break up, in a relationship. How did you get through those tough days? Like what is something that you did to really get you, to the stage?
The the honest and I guess darker opinion or an answer to this. Bodybuilding at some point was my only purpose in my eyes. Like I was really low. I lost my dad when I was 22 as well. So that was in the mix of everything. And well, 21 going to 22. And it was just like, this is all I have. So that little bit that I have left, this is what I need to do. Like there was never a question of like, should I do this? No, it's like, no, I gotta do this for me because this is all I got.
Mm,
So especially, like I wasn't happy with my job. I just, lost my version of my first little family, even though it never, fully went through. I was just a broken man trying to pick the pieces back up. And bodybuilding was all I had. So those days we were in the gym for 3 hours, whether you're lifting and doing the cardio, and I did a lot of cardio to get in shape that time. Um, and to just give yourself reason to get out of bed in the morning. Like that was what kept me going. Like it was just it gave me life when I didn't feel like I had one.
mm,
So that's the honest answer.
yeah. No,
And so now, going through that way. Now when I do it, I'm really appreciative of every prep that I do. And I have my own family now. I God blessed me with more, and I learned a lot. And people go through things, and when you have that mindset of like this is happening for me, not to me, you just gotta wait long enough and keep going to see why.
hmm
And then when you see your why, it's you're really grateful for going through those things. I mean, shit, prep in a sense is easy now. You still feel the feelings. You still feel like trash when you get up and stuff. And cardio, your feet feel like cinder blocks and shit. But like you just appreciate that feeling, you know. So
Yeah,
you can actually push farther because of it. It's like when you appreciate something, you can do something great with that. You really can.
Mhm.
absolutely. Yeah, I like that you mentioned that, you've always been transparent and like we get a lot of people too, like it's their first show and like we always talk about they see the flashy stuff on Instagram, they see the pro card, they see the wins, this and that. But it's just like you said, when you're in true shape, like you feel like absolute shit. And there are things that keep you going, whether it's monetary, whether it's a personal goal, whether it's a pro card, whatever it is. But a lot of people, I think, when they come to us initially, they think this is going to be like this amazing journey the whole way, and it's going to be so easy, and it's not easy,
Yeah.
you know?
hmm I think I've said this on a platform before that you learn a lot about yourself when you get in shape. Like
Hmm
a lot. There's those moments, those hour-long moments on a stairmaster or a treadmill when you're in your own head, quiet, like you don't hear anything, and your steps are heavy. That you really learn a lot about yourself. You're in your head, and the fact that you just show up, it's like, why do I show up? Like I explained to you my why. That doesn't mean that's everybody else's why, but you learn why within it. And yeah, I like my wife, we're getting her ready to eventually do her first show. And I told her I will not prep while you're prepping. And I said the reason for that is not because I think it's impossible, but because I think you're gonna need me. Because I wish I had somebody for my first one that I don't count that first one that I did when I was natural because you go to a whole other place when you can push farther.
Yeah.
So it's just I'm like, trust me, I'm gonna make sure that that time period's for you. And so, and I know, I've seen women go through prep and shit. If I'm in tears like 3 or 4 times in that prep, I know it's gonna be multiplied for a female to do. So I was like, we were just talking about that last night,
Yeah.
but exciting stuff.
That's awesome that you're willing to give her that space to do that goal for herself.
You
And
know,
she,
she was so selfless and had my baby, and
Mhm.
I tell everybody because they put me on a pedestal like, damn, Joe, you really did that while you had your first kid, like, and all that. I'm like, you know what? That was only possible because she held it down. I told her I was gonna take the year off. I told her I was no, I'll focus on this. I know this is gonna be hard, and just the adjustment to it, and I don't want you to feel alone. Because I know, Joe, like I met you through this. This is what you do. This is your life. This is your job. Like, keep going. Like, I'll do what I got to do here. So just keep going. And yeah, she did exactly what she said. It got tough at the end because you know how we just kind of become like tunnel vision. Like, we don't see anything. We just use whatever energy we have to get done the job we need to get done. And she finally got to see that. And it's like it did get tough, but she continued to show up and obviously like do it like damn near without me. I would help here and there, but it was so minimal.
Mhm.
And I mean, so once it was all said and done, she had a whole respect for it, a whole newfound respect. Because she was with me from a start of an off season to a rebound phase into an off season into a prep and all that stuff. Even coming out of a prep, but that's the part that threw her off a little bit. Coming out of a prep, so when you step on stage and do the show, the way I've always succeeded was treating the rebound portion, if you can do it, after a show, like the prep, just in reverse. So
Yep.
I actually stay feeling shitty pretty long. And I've always said the longer you feel shitty, the better you're going to look as far as putting size on. So if the scale's going up and you're staying at that low body fat, you're doing some really good shit. And this year, I really did something special. So I'm excited to show it already, but I need time. But yeah, like I've never looked like this. I'm 285 pounds with vascularity and lines in my glutes and stuff still. And so I'm excited. She's seen it. She's seen how it pays off, but she didn't know the time after the show, the way I do it, it was gonna take that long for me to kind of come back to who I was, to where like I'm present, like I feel good. It took me like 8 weeks
Mhm.
post show to start feeling good again, but the job was done that I needed to do. So now she gets to enjoy her version of Joe, the Joe she knows, and I get to enjoy my son a lot more.
yeah,
So it's just you got to find the right one to be able to do what I did. And yeah, God definitely blessed me with Ashley very much. Not just anybody would have done that. Justin tell Justin told me and her that. Like Justin actually thanked her in a way,
Yeah.
saying like, he would have been able to do this without you. Because Justin actually didn't think I was gonna make it. Because in the beginning, I told him, I was like, hey man, so, like I'm having a baby. And as exciting as I was, he's like, we'll play this year by ear because he's like, I don't pretty much telling me I don't want you to separate because of
Yeah.
a show. So I was like, I was like, I really have a good one, man. Like I know you don't know Ashley like I know Ashley, but I'm telling you, we're gonna be able to do it. Okay, man. But like I said, let's just play it by ear. So there you go.
That's a good coach, though. I mean, he was really looking out for you, despite your efforts.
Yeah. He's become a really good friend of mine. He's actually even at this point started going on the road with me to my shows.
Hmm.
And that means like I remember when I won USA's, he felt so damn bad that he wasn't there. He was like he was so excited that I won. And he was like, you know what, Joe? Like, I'm gonna fly down. I'm gonna take you out to dinner out in Cali or whatever. And he did that just to spend time with me, get to know me a little more as me and stuff. And yeah, we became really good friends. So it's pretty dope.
that's awesome.
Justin's a
Yeah,
really good guy.
absolutely.
Yeah, he genuinely cares. He's always asking me, Joe, when you getting your blood work done? Don't worry, I'm getting it done. Yeah.
How did that come about working with Justin?
Actually, I give Paul all the credit for where I'm at this point because Paul was there, my training partner. I don't know if you guys see who I post with
I know.
sometimes.
Yeah, I know
Yeah,
Paul. Yeah.
big Paul. So the history of Paul, real quick, is I went into Fit Nation. I was I was that first show I did. I was 187 pounds. So Paul actually saw me get ready for that. That was the what Fit Nation knew as Joe when I first walked in, and he just watched me work. And I saw him. He was the biggest guy in the gym. He was 280 pounds with abs, all blasted, tatted, with a big old beard and stuff. He looked badass to me. I didn't talk to him. I was very much a I'm in the gym and out the gym kind of guy.
Hmm.
Um, it's funny because that has completely changed. I'm still that way internally, but because of what I've done, people want to talk to me, and I'm not a dick, so I'm gonna give people time of day. But it's so different. But anyways, so Paul actually saw me posing, and he went to pose next to me and helped me out a little bit. And because Paul's already had competed in I think two shows prior to meeting me, two or maybe even three, and he was helping me out a little bit, and then on another occasion, he saw me getting ready. He's like, "Hey, Joe, I hear that you're not on any gear." I was doing lunges outside, and he's like, "I heard you're not on any gear. Like, what the fuck you waiting for?" He's like, "Look at you. Your physique's incredible. Like, you're living the life kind of thing." Like, and I told him, I was like, like it's what I just told you guys. I understand the responsibility that comes behind it and the life that is asked of me, and I want to make sure that it's the one I want. And then because I don't have fast anything. I have an obsessive personality, and when I go all in, I go all in. And then he said, "You know what? I can respect that, but I still think you should jump on gear." So I didn't until after, right? But um, I always stuck to what I said I was going to do. That's one thing about me. If I say I'm going to do something, I do it. So he, shortly after that, I competed, and then he saw me put on 20 pounds instantly after the show. And then he started paying more attention to me, how I trained and stuff. And I was very old school. Like I trained heavy for a long time. Like I got up to some numbers that I'm really proud of in the gym. I don't train like that anymore, but I'm so proud of it. So um he was looking for a training partner, and at the rate I was going and the heart that I lifted with, he came up to me and he said, "Yo, Joe, I've been watching you and I watch how you train. I really like how you train. You're a lot like me with your style." And he was like, "Would you want to be my training partner?" And I was like, I looked at I couldn't believe it was happening because I was like, this is the guy that I want to look like, be built like. He's the only one that's this big and this lean in this gym. And I know how much he charges for coaching based on just people talking.
Hmm.
And I was like, fuck yeah, I'll be your fucking training partner. Like, what the hell? I was like, this is free shit for me. All I get to do is learn. So yeah, man, I trained with him. I still do to this day. That's what, 3, 4 years ago now. So and he watched me win the California. He heard the whole conversation about the when why I should wait to do USAs. He told me I was an idiot when I first said I was gonna do USAs right away. And I remember winning California at the USA's. I was backstage before they announced who won or whatever. And he was like, "Damn, dude, I feel fucking nervous as fuck." He was texting me and I replied. I was like, "Just just trust me, man. Just trust me." And when they called my name, you hear everybody cheering him, one of them. And after, I see him and he gives me a huge hug. And I was like, "I fucking told you, man." He's like, "Fuck, Joe." He starts crying. I started crying. I was like, shit. But yeah, Paul became my best friend. I'm, this is Paul's house. When I found out I was going to have a baby, he had space and I'm pretty much his roommate with my wife here and my son. Paul
Oh,
gave me a place to live too, because I was
yeah.
living at home with my family,
Hmm.
and yeah, there was no space there. So shit, I got to figure this out. And he had no place to go, so I have my whole family here with Paul. Now Paul's the Nino to my baby boy.
That's amazing, though. I mean, you don't find that often, man, because like, we've all had training partners, and it like, you know what I'm talking about, where like you obviously you passed them up. You're on a different level now, but like some people just can't handle that. They don't
Yeah,
support it, like, you know what I mean? Like, or they talk shit behind your back. But I know Paul's a good dude. We've talked here and there. So it's good to see that, not only is he there, training partner, the house, but he's so supportive as well.
Yeah, so to finish off the question at hand, he saw me going through that phase that I just told you about splitting because he knew my ex fiance too. Like he met her at the same time I went to Fit Nation.
Hmm.
And he saw me going through all that. And I always trained hard. I never stopped training hard. That was always my little getaway, my therapy, if you want to call it that. So I always needed to train. Didn't matter if I was getting ready for a show or not. I didn't care how I looked. I just wanted to train.
Hmm.
And he actually saw my physique started to deteriorate because I was doing all the wrong things when you go through some shit. Like going out and getting like drinks and stuff. And I didn't party, but I just drink a lot. And when this is why I said I wasted cycle because I wasn't eating like so he saw it happening. He said, Joe, like I'm watching your fucking physique go to shit. He was very blunt.
Hmm.
And what are you talking about, man? I'm still training and stuff. He's like, I can see it physically. Like your muscle doesn't have pop to it. Like you're strong because you're a strong guy, but your muscle doesn't look where it should. And he was like, I think you need to do a show. And I was like, I'm not ready for a show. I don't have the size yet. He's like, dude, you're fucking crazy. You have the size. And I was like, yeah, I don't know. And then he said, what if I hooked you up to my coach? And his coach was Justin Compton.
Hmm.
And I said, I appreciate it, man, but no, I don't think I want to pay for that right now or something like that. I was like, I'm still trying to, get my life together pretty much. And he was like, Is money really the reason why you're not going to compete? I'm like, yeah, it's a pretty big reason. He's like, what if I paid for the coaching in the beginning? I was like, dude, if you seriously think that much of me and believe in me that much to pay for that, I was like, you know what? I'll do a show for you. And that's when I did the Cal.
Wow.
And so, yeah, Paul pretty much saved my life. He didn't even know it. He knows now,
Yeah.
but it's been pretty crazy. Like Paul's the reason for everything.
That's so cool, man. I love that.
Hmm. Yep. I try to put him on that pedestal for everybody to know because it's like they always say when you set out to do something, if you can save one person's life, it's worth it.
Hmm.
I don't know how many others he has, but I was that one that I know he has. So it's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
So cool.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, some people train alone, but like I've always said that if you have a good training partner, like not much can replace that.
Hmm. I never needed a push, right? I've always had that ability to push myself. But the one thing that I got from training with Paul was just that friendship you need on those days you feel the loneliest. So
Hmm.
like the those moments in prep where it got really hard, just having him there by my side was enough. Because especially when you walk in the trenches alongside your brothers, it's like when you're in Hell Week in football, your friends are doing it too. You're like, it's not that fucking bad. So, it's fun because they're suffering with you. They're going through the shit with you. And so when I had Paul to have such like relatability to at that point, he may be older, but what we were going through in bodybuilding together was the same. And so he understood me living the life, adjusting to the lifestyle too, because I was in the very beginning of it when he came around. He's seen me progress not only through my physique, but through my habits and through my, I guess, just my maturity level in my head, the way I look at things and stuff over these last few years. He's part of it, but I've helped him as well. There's something, it became like he's like a brother.
Yeah,
But it's through the hard shit that you get that kind of relationship with somebody. That's the only way. So
right. Yeah, I
it
know.
is hard to find though.
Oh, so
Oh
hard.
yeah.
One thing that I would always get motivated by, this year is when you guys would post the pictures in the posing room and you guys were doing like what 20, 30-second holds with each pose and I'm like, man, when I saw that, I was just getting motivated like myself. I'm like that shit is brutal.
Yeah, man, it's cool because me and Paul had the same mentality. Like I said, he watched how I train, but it was that whole Branch Warren style of thinking like it's okay to lose when you worked your ass off and there was nothing else you could do. So when we do those things, that's us being okay with being beat by somebody that's just better.
Hmm.
Not that they worked harder, but that they're just better. Like, and so there's a sense of like peace at that because if you're gonna do this, again, all in. Why else do it? You're just pushing your health numbers and stuff for what? And so Paul had that same mentality, so we do it together. And it's never like no one ever says like, "Should we do this today?" It's never once been said. It's we know what we got to do, and we just do it. It's when you see them down, you just hear someone say, "Come on, like, come on, Paul, come on, Joe, just one more round, or just a few more seconds. Keep holding, bro. Like that's it. Like it's never one complaining."
Yeah.
Paul has seen me push to get to this size, and like literally before sets of squats, I'm just fucking gagging, like just trying to keep the food down. I thank God I don't have to do that anymore. But fuck, when I first was pushing to get to 300 pounds and my body did not know how to be there, that was the hardest shit ever. And like I'll put the plates on for him. He'd put a plate on, then hold on, just this harsh gag. She's like, "You'll be all right, bro." It's never like, "Are you good?" No, he just said, "You'll be all right."
Yeah.
Because he's been there, he's done that shit. It's
That
funny
is
as fuck. Yeah, people don't see that. They don't see that on
Yeah, they
camera,
don't they don't see that part.
Yeah, I've talked about that. It's just, there's a reason why there's not many open pro bodybuilders in this world. So it's kind of cool to be able to. That was actually a motivating factor to be able to do something that most people can't do. So when shit gets really fucking hard, yeah, it's just it's there's something to be said. Like when I talk to my son when he's like 10, I'm like, yeah, man, that like when I was doing this, like I was trying to do something that most people can't. And it made me feel special. It made me feel different. It made me feel like I'm someone that one day you're gonna look up to me, Jax, like because I did something that most can't do. And now you're gonna want to do something like that. It doesn't have to be bodybuilding, but just anything that just really makes you stand out and feel different. Because
Yep.
that's where it's at. That's what makes you an individual. So that was a motive for me right there. On
Yeah.
those days where I was trying to push the 300 pounds.
I before I had my first kid, I played the size game, and I had always been just very, very large. We'll leave it at that. When as you got bigger, your life changes. And talking about doing things that most people don't do, like I stay somewhere around 270, 280 pretty much all year long. And now that I'm kind of getting back into the bodybuilding thing, now I'm kind of like, okay, like we should probably keep it under 300 just for health and longevity because there's no real need to do that anymore. But when you walk around as a giant dude, there's all sorts of weird little things that the average person would never even think about. And I always think about a couple of different things, but I want to hear what you think or what changes that you've had to go through as you've gotten bigger. The one that I noticed, and it was such a bizarre one because I would have never thought about this. I can no longer just lean to the side when I need to wipe because I've broken toilet seats. I have to do the papa squat thing.
That's hilarious.
Oh,
Okay, so, well, the heaviest I've ever seen on a scale. Okay, the heaviest I've ever seen first thing in the morning was 302 pounds. That was the heaviest I've ever seen. I'm 5'8". And the heaviest I've ever seen on a scale in general was 309.7 pounds. That was at the gym scale with my shoes on, food in me, and all that stuff, right? Um, Things I didn't ever think would be like, I wouldn't think of, I guess. One of them, not being able to walk more than like 20 feet without having to have a crazy tight lower back or be out of breath. Another thing is wiping does get really hard, like really hard. But I was always able to tilt. It's just, to be honest, I took a long time wiping because I didn't know if I was actually clean. Like, because trying to reach, and my
Yeah.
adductors are really big, so I can't go between like a girl, like so I can't do that shit. And then, oh, showering, I would get out of breath showering. It'd be really hard to shower, reach over and do my shoulders and stuff. Um, Getting out of bed, like like I turn a lot. So when I move myself, like I'm like, holy shit, like I'm really putting some effort in to press myself and turn myself around. Or even just getting up, I have to kick my foot super hard to get up. Um, I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, like amusement parks were out of the question the first time I went to got to 300. I couldn't. Like I literally couldn't.
Oh, you muted yourself.
Sorry.
There you go.
Um, I what did I say right now? Amusement
You were talking
parks.
Amusement
about the
parks.
yeah amusement.
Yeah, amusement parks were out of the question because I couldn't walk that long without my lower back being overly like pumped and tight. And yeah, it was pretty miserable. But on the flip side of things, like I'm 285 pounds right now, and I don't feel any of that. Like I think there's something to be said about your body learning how to do certain things once it's been somewhere enough times or long enough. And there's a huge difference in maintaining a weight compared to pushing to a weight you've never been on the body. So I actually feel like I'm my 220 pound self again. And the way I walk and move and stuff, I'm still heavy. So like I still feel the heaviness as far as like when I get out of bed, I feel the body weight, but I'm not out of breath. I don't struggle. Like I went to Disney with my wife and son the other day for the first time with Jax, and that was fine. Like I didn't have any hard time doing anything. And training, I uh I don't feel like I'm dying when I'm training. The first time I was 300 pounds, I felt like I was gonna die every workout. Like my heart rate would get super high really fast. And but again, I was pushing so many calories to be so heavy. At one point I was eating like 8,000. Now I'm only eating five, like 5,300 right now is my plan pretty much. And I'm 285. And my body's like holding right here. So I'm pretty
Well, the
comfortable.
body's smart. The body will definitely learn what it needs and how to adapt. I think the only thing that I ever really noticed, because I spend quite a bit of time at high elevation too. So as long as I'm there for more than a day, my body will adapt pretty good and I can go to the gym and have a kick, super solid workout and whatnot. The one thing I did notice though, and no matter what kind of training I do, I've lifted heavy, heavy shit. There is nothing more humbling than holding a baby after arm day.
Yeah, I can't do that. I'll tell Ashley, I'm like, hey, can you hold him? It's hard
Oh,
to
I was
do.
I was dying and my wife was like, "You literally just came from the gym." And I'm like, "Yes, and all the glycogen is gone. I need
Yeah.
I need food."
It's really hard to hold Jax for way too long. Yeah. I'll try to find somewhere to prop him up on my leg. So I'm not really holding him. He's just like sitting there with an armrest. Yeah. She's um she's on her first cycle, and she gets little Anavar pumps. And so now she's starting to get the like, damn, I'm like, Jack's getting pretty heavy. That's what I told you. Now think of that, but like amplified. you know? Yeah, that's hilarious. It's cool. She's getting all buff now. Like today she was eating, see her shoulders and shit. I just start laughing. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, to go from pregnant to buff, that's cool.
When is she planning on prepping? Has there like any specific dates or time frame?
So she's very much a lot like me to where she wants to compete to win. And so she wants to do wellness. And with wellness comes a certain level of muscularity in her legs. So I said, well, the difference between competing and winning is that to win, you need time. And with time, it's like, okay, based on what I'm seeing with your body's response and stuff, say everything goes right. Like, I can see you winning like a regional show, not a national level show, but a regional show by the end of 2026. So we're thinking about something in the end of December, which will give her. Right now, she's pretty much finished. Next week will be the last week where she finished recomping from pregnancy body to this body. She'll have lost a total of about 55 pounds
Mhm.
during that. And so she looks incredible right now compared to where she started. And I say, you only want to push your body for so long. So we'll give her a diet break to where she reverse diets, ups her metabolism, has everything, get good within the next like 8 weeks. And then we'll push her down a little farther just so that I can get that last bit off so she can have a nice little rebound into a true off season where she's eating for size, not just trying to recomp and whatever muscle she had before, plus any additional muscle like that you can get from just knowing what you're doing. So with that phase, this phase, a true off season phase, come off and then into a prep, that'll probably lead us to December from the time frames that we put together. So that's what we have planned for her. She's excited because I won't let her step on a stage she's not ready for. That's what she wants. She wants the honest truth about where she's at. And shit, I'd like to think that's going to plan out the way I see it, the way my vision is. But if I don't think she has enough for the look that I know she's looking for, then I won't let her step on stage yet. But I think she will. Her body's Jax. Let's just say Jax has a hell of a future ahead of him in the athletic side of things because she's got some really good genetics, and so do I. So I'm just like,
Right.
this kid, his name is Jax, man. Like it, he's set up for success. Like, if he
Yeah, no
fucks this
kidding.
up, it's on him.
No kidding. Well,
Mhm.
that's exciting, man.
Yeah, but thank you for asking about her. I love when people ask me questions about her because yeah, she's been that like that little angel in the background. Like I said, I wouldn't have made it this far without her. 'Cause, you have partners that either make or break you, and she's definitely helped me become who I am today. So her and Paul, man, and my mom.
Yeah,
Really, my little circle is amazing.
that's good to hear, man. It sounds like
Mhm.
you're doing her coaching and everything.
Yeah, for now. Now, if I get to a point where I'm like, you know what, I don't want to hold her back from getting because I don't really work with too many women
Hmm.
that are trying to do what she's doing. So once I get to a point where this was done for me back then, that first coach I worked with, he knew what he was doing, but he didn't want to hold me back.
Hmm.
And he said, honestly, Joe, I want you to work with somebody higher level than me because you're at a high level and I want you to get to where you want to be as fast as you can. And when he's a friend, he's a real friend for that because here I am, right? And he told me too. He's like, I told you, I knew what I was looking at, and I didn't want to be the reason you didn't get to where you deserve to be. So that was pretty fucking cool. So same with my wife. Like I only know so much. I definitely know the beginner stuff. Like I said, it's her first cycle, and I know how to get somebody in good shape. And it says there's levels to this, and when she gets to that certain level, I'll probably pass her on to somebody with really good knowledge in the wellness field.
Yeah,
So I just want her to succeed like I did. you know,
yeah,
my
absolutely.
ego is not high. I promise you that. The only time it's high is when I'm trying to win. So there you go.
I got a random question, kind of as we wrap up here. We'll get a few more questions in. How does it feel for you when, after like the Texas Pro, like we know because we know bodybuilding, but how does it feel for you when people are saying like this is among one of the best double biceps like the sport has?
The so it's funny because I've talked to my wife about this. I'm like, one day you're just a kid flexing in the mirror, just trying to get buff. Then the next you're told that you're like the third best back in the world. And the first thing that goes to my mind is, fuck, how do I become the first best back in the
Yes.
world?
Yeah.
Eh, to be honest, because I never really knew what I wanted out of this until I eventually saw where I could potentially be in my head, the vision that I have for myself. Because in the beginning, we all set out just because we want to be buff kids. Like we're a kid that wants to be buff. Like I never imagined putting on posing trunks and posing in front of people. I always thought that was weird, and I think most guys do until they just fucking do it for the reasons that they know they're doing it for. And so knowing that like you've taken your physique to the point there, people want to look like you now. And now it's like, okay, now you have pros that want your back. It's like, well, shit, man, I've done this with just doing what I do. I wonder how far I can take this. So I just try to better it. And it motivates me. Like they say that, like you can climb the top of the mountain, right? Like there's nothing like that climb. Like
Hmm.
right now, I'm still on that climb. So just the motivation, especially the closer you get, the harder you want to work almost. Like I thought I worked hard before. I really did. There's other levels in your own head of how far you can push things. And I didn't know how hard I could work until this last that being that close to being to the Olympia. And then being told that back thing, like it's like, damn, there's a whole other part of me that I didn't even know existed. It's cool to discover that about yourself, obviously, because it just shows like you don't really know your own limitations yet. So that's really cool. And so yeah, it's more motivating to hear and flattering as fuck. But it's like, damn, they have me in third. Because I don't, I compete to win.
Yeah.
So it's funny. I'm very competitive, but not in like a jackass way. So like, if I lose a video game, like in a video game against somebody, I'm not gonna throw my controller. But I'm like, fuck, man. Like, it's like I'm better than this. Yeah. So
Next year, man, make sure you get that passport because
yeah,
you
man.
could have
So
you could have cleaned up, man. I was like, as soon as Texas ended, I was like, oh, he's going to Italy. And then, of course, after watching the podcast, watching you on the podcast, I was like, damn it, he doesn't have a passport.
yeah. So I remember when I revealed that. I think that was on Dennis James podcast was
Yeah.
the first one. And he was like, "What the fuck are you doing without a passport?" It's like, well, and I mentioned, like, dude, I never needed one. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, so, yeah. With that said, I plan on doing Tampa again, Texas again. In my head, I'm qualifying for the Olympia. Like no matter what, I'm qualifying. So that's the third show, and then I want to go to Prague and do Prague.
Yeah.
And so those four shows are almost back to back, pretty much.
Hmm.
So I'll be conditioned, seeing how my body was able to improve from one show to the next. Like I'm like, okay, so my body can get better. It won't decline. I don't know how long I'll keep that up, but we'll find out. And so I already talked to Justin about that. Um, and he said he'd be down to do a cross country show. So that's the plan in my head. I will only do that as long as I qualify for the Olympia. So um, yeah, I plan on that being what's going to happen. So no
Nice.
matter where I place in the Olympia, I have my vision, my goals, but no matter where I place, as long as I'm there, I'll still do Prague.
Yeah. I think that's a great plan.
Mhm. I just think it's one of those things, like one thing Milo said that it was like I didn't disagree with him. I do understand that I'm a professional at what I do. This is my career at this point, and I need to be able to compete. It's important to compete. It's important to show yourself around the world. And I do understand that, and that's important. And the only reason this year in particular was like, I did start my family. I couldn't beat Jordan. So already I'm like, okay, I'm not ready for the Olympia stage yet. So I didn't want to compete after that for that reason, as well as I just wanted to give my wife and my son my time.
Hmm.
So I don't think Milos, I don't know if he has kids or not, or a family like that. Maybe a wife. Not sure,
He's married.
but
Yeah.
he's married.
No, no.
So yeah, but see, like the having the kid thing, my wife being a first time mom, I wanted to be there for that and present because I definitely wasn't present during the prep. And so there was no way I was going to do a show after Texas, no matter what anybody told me. Like you could have put money in my face, and it just wasn't worth it to me because I needed to be there for them. And for myself, I like there was parts in the prep where the little bit that's left in you would come out sometimes, and I was holding him like when she needed to do something, I'd hold him, and I would get emotional looking at him like, fuck, man, I feel like I'm missing out, even though there's nothing really that I'm missing in that
Mhm.
like where he was at in that stage as a baby, like fuck, man, am I making the right choice by doing this shit? And at the end of the day, once you start rationalizing things and all that, and you're not stuck in your head, you realize, yes, it's worth it for what you're trying to do. It's not just for you, it's for them.
Mhm.
So, but yeah, this shit was tough. So there's no fucking way I'm competing after this. Like, as much as people want to see it, like, nah, my family's more important than you guys want to see me on stage. So it was flattering though that people wanted to, and I did see the shows after, and you bet your ass, I was like, damn, I think I could have fucking won. So,
Yeah,
but I didn't regret it, not even a little bit.
that's good. That's good. You got any
And
questions?
oh, and I think I've also said, I can't, probably on Fuwads, that I didn't want to compete until I win, because that means I'm not ready. Like, I want to be a top like tier pro, not one that's like he can win certain shows, but he can't win the big ones, or
Yeah.
he's not gonna place too well at the big ones. Like, fuck that, man. Like, why? I mean, yes, you're gonna get paid every time you win those smaller shows, but I want the big money too. Like, like it's just like I'm doing this to create something here, not just do it casually. This is kind of like a 9 to 5 at the end of the day when I'm making almost only so much money with it. I
Mhm.
want to do the big things and get the big titles and like make my mark in bodybuilding. I think it'd be really fucking cool to be one of those guys that you see on a wall when you go into a gym and have that like, oh yeah, that was Joe. Man, you should see him pull out a picture. This was what Joe was, this and that. Like, that's what I want. That's what I want my son to grow up with, like just the motive for him and stuff. Just something to be proud of. I always had a level of discomfort in my mind to do something normal.
Mhm.
Like, and this is far from normal. So it's like, okay, I found my niche. Now let me just take this as far as I can and see what I can do with it.
Well, you definitely have what it takes, man. I think you
Oh,
will be
thanks.
battling some of those top shows not too far away.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I just give me some time, and I'm gonna do everything I can to make that happen.
I believe it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. You got any other questions for him, Eric? I only have one more for him.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, so this is something not a lot of people ask probably, but some guys I know like when they're in a position like you where you're literally rising to the top, do you have someone in your mind where you're like, if I could just catch this guy, like if I could just catch Jordan or if I can catch Urs, then I'll be like where I want to be? Or is it you literally just stay in your lane and you're just like, I have an envision of what I'm gonna create, and that's all that matters.
What's kind of funny is the only thing that's ever crossed my mind was people will compare you to people, right? And so I see where those people place that they're comparing me to. One of them is a friend of mine, Nick Walker. Everybody knows Nick Walker.
Mhm.
And the other one that I've actually been compared to outside of my waist is actually Derek. And I always thought that my physique was an in between of theirs.
Mhm.
And I'm like, you know what? If I Obviously Derek's number one in the world right now, and but most people compare me to Nick. So I always thought if I could catch Nick, which is a high standard to hold myself on. But if most people are going to compare me to Nick, I'm like, then that's where I can see myself like how do you call it? Like, I don't limit myself to that, but that's my stepping stone. I don't really care about anybody else until that point for now. I need to pass up Nick to be able to get into that realm of bodybuilders that, okay, this is where it's gonna come down to like I have to be fucking perfect like that day. So yeah, I want to catch Nick.
Yeah, I like that. I think that there would be people that agree with me that your back double currently is better than Nick's.
It's that's a hell of a compliment. Thank you.
Mm.
it's just- it's one of those things that I've always, just like I said in the beginning to one of your questions, like you need to see me on stage next to him. And I think I'm not gonna lie, like, can I see that? I can.
Hmm.
But until I'm standing next to him and I can see it visually myself, then I'll believe it. But do I believe I can beat Nick Walker? I do. I don't
Hmm.
know when, but I do believe I can. And I love the guy. He's a great guy. I've actually talked so highly of him. And I just mean that in a way where I hold myself to a high standard. So
Yeah.
that is a compliment to him, but I do plan on beating him.
Yeah.
I've had that for a while since people started comparing me to him. I'm like, okay, if that's what you guys see, then that's where I need to start aiming towards as far as like the question you asked me, like where do I like who's that person I need to pass up
Hmm.
to really get myself to that next level. And that's who right now in my head.
Yeah. I like that. And it's not smack talk. Like people will twist your word.
No.
Like it's not smack talk. It's just like you see Nick, he's right there. And it's like you just want to level up yourself. So it's not smack talk when it's like in a sense you're putting him on a pedestal and you have to hold yourself to that standard too.
It's funny too. Like Nick actually reminds me a lot of myself. We don't have necessarily the same personality as far as like in conversation, but his work ethic, his knowledge, his application, his way of thinking in bodybuilding, it's very identical to mine. His drive, it's very identical. Um, and I like that. It pushes me. I watch the videos all the time. I have my son on my lap, and like there's times he speaks, I'm like, damn. And I'll look at my wife, I'm like, isn't that weird? Like I'll just talk to her about the same thing he's saying on TV. Because I love talking about bodybuilding stuff and I share with her all the time. And so it's just it'd almost be like going against a different version of myself. And that'd be pretty fucking cool. Cause I'm like, in a way, I feel like I'm chasing myself. Like, which is the
Yeah.
biggest motivator. He may have a different physique, but his drive is really what I want to be
Yep.
more than anything. So
Yeah.
that's it. Mhm.
Makes perfect sense. Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, this has been great, man. Yeah, we appreciate you taking the time coming on. This has been a great one.
I have
Well,
one.
thanks for your patience, guys. Honestly, it's
Yeah.
like, because I am still a personal trainer. Like I have a client at 3:30.
Yeah.
So, well, 3:30 my time over here. So I wanted to make sure I gave you enough time. And it's difficult. Then sometimes I do need to watch the baby and she needs to get ready or stuff like that. So it's just it's more difficult than I would have thought it had to be to make it for these things.
No, it's all good, brother.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys very
Yeah.
much.
I have one really quick, kind of a two-parter. So now that the
Okay.
wife is doing this with you, and you're, whether it's prep or, building season, off season, whatever you like to call it, we're all still structured. Um, and it sounds like maybe you guys will overlap a little bit next year if with your
Mhm.
plans and then when she would be starting. Do you guys have like a scheduled like free meal or date night where you guys go out for dinner? Do you have a favorite free meal or dessert that you like to do?
So for right now, ours, if I'm on prep myself, I can only do a cheat meal when Justin says, "Hey, you can have one," which is very, very rare. Actually, because I'm coaching her, I try to make it more of a lifestyle thing right now since she's not getting ready for a show.
Yeah.
So every Saturday is our scheduled cheat meal day. So we drop off my son with his grandparents, and a lot of times we'll even sleep over. So she has the whole night with me, and we can sleep in and go pick him up the next day. But as far as like a go-to, we have like we try to try something new. So like
Okay.
obviously we'll go to like Olive Garden or Cheesecake Factory or BJ. Sometimes we've done sushi, we've done what do you call it? Korean barbecue. She loves Korean barbecue. Desserts, we'll switch it up. Like we both really like butter cake. Do
Oh my
butter
God.
cake.
Oh,
Us
So and the
too.
fact
yeah.
We're always
the
searching for a good butter cake.
so the fat the I don't know if you guys see my little Fat Joe bar thing. We put butter cake in that. So that bar has butter cake in it. So that was that was special because I was like, that was my little fat ass piece of me in there. But Pazookies, we love Pazookies, and sometimes if we're not feeling like sitting at a restaurant for that long, we'll go pick up like Ben and Jerry's. We like Ben and Jerry's,
Mhm.
but we'll always get like ice cream with like a baked good on the side, like a cookie or some pie or some things like that. But yeah, Saturday nights are our nights. Um,
Nice.
oh, like this Saturday, we're actually going to this place. So remember I said Justin came down to celebrate the fact that I won USA's and stuff. We went to a place called House of Pies,
Oh,
and that place has breakfast till 3 in the morning all day. And but it has like those fancy like pancakes and French toast and stuff like that. And I'm that's my shit. That's what I'm a bodybuilder, right? But Ashley loves that stuff. So we're gonna go there this Saturday, actually. So
Nice.
that's cool. And we already planned to go to there's a pizza spot called California or no, sorry, Downey Pizza Company in my city that I live in. And she likes pastrami. They have a pastrami pizza. She's never tried it, so I wanted to try that. So that's our plan for the following week.
There you go.
Before we even have this one, we think of the next one too. 'Cause the beauty behind a cheat meal is that you appreciate it so much more when you have it. Like
yeah.
if it's something you don't have often, it tastes so good. It's like having that post show dinner every week.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Almost the same.
Yep.
absolutely. You're so
Yeah.
appreciative of those moments with whether it's your wife or your friends, like
Yes.
it just means more. And
Yeah, it does.
same, it's Saturdays. He coaches me too. So I get it. Like,
Yeah. But don't let him lie to you. It's for him too. He needs it too.
oh.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Awesome,
you said it
man.
was two-parter. It was a
Yeah.
two-parter, or did I answer them
Well, that
both?
was kind of it. Like if you
Oh,
had
okay, okay.
meals and what you like to do for
Okay.
yeah.
Cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we
Definitely.
appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
We'll let you get to your session, but yeah, I'll hit you up when we release it, probably 2 weeks or so.
Okay, yeah. And I'll obviously put it up on my end. So
For sure.
I'm really excited for 'cause my mom and my wife and Paul love watching these whenever I'm on. I haven't been on one in a little while.
Hell
So
yeah.
I'm like, okay, cool, I'll do this one. I
Awesome,
Yeah.
like
man.
I like doing them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I look
Uh,
forward to your shows coming up in the future.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
And
Yeah.
your wife. I would,
Yeah, I'll be posting the shit out of her. I already do.
yeah.
I will. All right,
Awesome,
guys.
man. Well, yeah, you enjoy the rest of your day. We'll chat later, buddy.
Thank
All
you.
right, sounds good.
All right.
Bye. Thank you.
See you, man.